Well, good evening, YouTube model railroader fans. Still under the weather. Haven't been able to shake this sinus cold, whatever the heck it is, unfortunately. So this is going to be vlog 15, and it is the 22nd. I'm sorry, it's April 21st. 2015. Couple of things. This past Saturday was the YouTube model build, the YouTube model build. My head wasn't clogged, I'd be in good shape here. Anyway, the YouTube Model Builders Live. Good show. Yours truly was there. It was a bunch of fun. A couple things that I think I was able to show that probably were shown before. I'm going to move this a little bit there. There we go. So I'm not looking like I'm over that way. Any rate, a couple things was, obviously, I think I've shown in a couple of the videos that I've done in the prior. Actually, it was one of the first videos that I did. Where I had my daughter turn out the lights, and the only thing you see are the lights from the houses and the structures and the street lights. I wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit more tonight, because of the fact that I know it's one of those things that not a lot of modelers do. It's something that I've always, or that this layout has actually always had in one way, shape, form, or the other. Is the building, or the structure lights and the street lights. The funny thing of it is that, you know what, why don't I pause it here for a second, so that way we can actually, you won't see me, but we'll discuss what's going on here. So give me a second, and we'll be right back. Okay, first things first here. I'm going to try and keep this as steady as I can. You'll have to pardon me. Like I said, I'm still somewhat under the weather here. These street lights, and I'm not sure how close. Oh, I can get pretty close here. These street lights here, some of these actually do date back to the 1950s. They've all been rewired because originally they were cotton-covered copper wire, and they used to actually run from the actual arms up here. Obviously, they're not done that way anymore. This is actually black thread that is being used, that goes from light pole to light pole. But the light, you can see here that, as soon as I go ahead and pan the camera back around here, on the back side of the pole here, you actually have the lighting. These are grain of wheat bulbs. You can pick them up at electronics stores and such. Since I'm standing here in front of the Paradise Diner, one of the things that Barry had mentioned, or I noticed the other night in a video that he did, he's actually got this very same, or a very similar diner, except for his is an S gauge. Obviously, this is HO. And a lot of the Plasticville, which I'll get over on the other side here in a minute, and we'll show that. But basically, underneath these houses, and I'm just going to pick one of these up real quick, because it's that easy. This is actually an old Christmas light socket. Obviously, the Christmas light bulbs are gone, and these here are just small bulbs. And obviously, this is a tall one. The shorter buildings actually have round bulbs. This one here is a long one. Obviously, it's a taller building. It's a 2-story building. Actually, I think they would actually consider this to be a 3-story townhouse. Put the townhouse back in place here. So that's basically what's underneath the townhomes there. And then, of course, with Union Station here, and I don't know if I can, you know what, I'm just going to take the roof off, because I left this removable for a number of reasons. But same thing here, I don't know if the light's really going to show it or not. There we go. Same thing here. You know, you've got another one of those Christmas light bulb sockets in there and a tall bulb. Each section of Union Station is actually lit. So there's actually a bulb in this section, a bulb in this section, and a bulb in this section. I'm going to pause here a second so I can go over to Wykert Hill. Actually, before we get to Wykert Hill, I was talking about night operations. Somebody was talking about night operations, and that's how this whole thing got started. Here is one of my light towers. Here again, it's just grain of wheat bulbs. Now, unfortunately, the grain of wheat bulbs have changed a little bit from when this tower was actually put together. I actually had to run the wiring down the back of the tower, which kind of made me mad, but that was the only way I could do it. So I've got obviously this is a 2 bulb, and down the other end here, I don't know why this is so far, there it goes. You can see right there next to the bridge is a 4 light tower, and that basically gives me enough light through the yard. Before I forget it, these light posts, they were actually put out by Lifelike years ago, and that's a frosted grain of wheat bulb. Obviously, it's not a normal clear one. So let's go over here to Wykert Hill. Same type of deal here with the light poles. Of course, there's one light pole that I forgot to put the thread on, and unfortunately, I need to do some work on some of these light poles. Here again, they made the wiring different than what it used to be, and it's a lot thicker. So I'm going to have to figure out when I actually rebuild this thing, I'm going to have to find a way to, I guess, house that wiring down inside. Anyway, we were talking about the houses. There you go. There's another one of those light bulbs with a light socket. Plasticville, since it came up, yeah, I've got the hardware store, the post office, the 5 and 10 cent store. Of course, you got the Plasticville school, and of course there's a rancher over here. That one there, I actually used one of those small based grain of wheat bulbs. Here again, it's a lot lower building, so I didn't need anything real tall. So that's why that's there. And it's kind of the same deal with, well, yeah, with the Cape Cod. It's got one of those smaller bulbs in it, underneath of it. Let's see, what else have we got? The street lights in New Bolshide. They're actually on a separate circuit altogether, because I was having problems trying to get the lighting correct. These actually came from, I believe, I bought them from China a couple years ago, and I kind of like the look of them because of the fact that they kind of match that old world style. And since this is New Bolshide, well, they kind of fit. So that's what we did there. And I've talked about the blinking bridges. They're on a separate circuit along with the water tower. Now, as you can tell, I don't have the bridge closed here at the moment. And in the background is actually my camera stand. Pardon me. So, basically, I think that's going to be about it. The lighting circuits, I think I mentioned it when we did the wiring. Let me go ahead and pause here for Okay, back again. As I had mentioned, I think it was on the, when I was talking about the wiring, I showed the small power packs that I'm actually using for the lighting circuits. And like I said, I believe, and of course I didn't fire up my multimeter. Okay, I don't have to cough. I didn't fire up my multimeter, but I'm almost certain that the power packs that I've got, they've got, you come in with 120 AC, and they output, I think it's like 4.5, 9, and 12 volts, or something of that nature, DC. Or is it still AC? I think it might still be AC. But regardless, I used the 9 volt for the lighting because it's 12 volts too bright, 4 volts too dark. And one of the other things I mentioned with the buildings, I have to go back in and actually, when you take a look at the video that I did about the night ops, you'll see that the light is shining through the buildings. I do need to go back and either paint the inside of them or block them up or whatever to kind of blot out the lighting, because the lighting is still coming through, or the light still comes through, especially some of the older kits for some reason. The newer ones, I think the plastic is a little bit different, and it doesn't shine through. But the older ones, for whatever, the plastic, I don't know if it's the pigment in it or what, but the light just shines straight through it. One of the things that I do want to do, and the reason why the roof is still removable on Union Station, for instance, I want to break that up into floors. And I had originally bought, if you noticed, underneath the Rancher and that one Cape Cod, I had those little sticky type bulbs. I originally bought them for specifically for Union Station, so I could put flooring in there and then mount those to the roof or the ceilings. I didn't do that, namely because I didn't buy enough of them. So it's one of those things. Eventually I'm going to go back and do the same thing with the townhomes, the multi-story houses. Actually, most of the buildings have more than one floor. I'm going to go ahead and put subfloors in and put different lights in. One of the things I'd actually thought about doing at one point was actually putting them on separate circuits so you could turn them on and turn them off. You know, if you wanted to make it look like somebody was in the living room, you turned that one on, or if you wanted to look like there was somebody upstairs, you turned that one on. Obviously, that would take a lot more wiring and a lot more thought, but it's one of the things I might want to play with. I think I'm real close to like 12 minutes, and as you know, with this iMovies thing, I can't go over 15, and I still have to put in my my intro. So I know this was really quick, and I know I'm babbling a little bit, and I know I've been coughing and wheezing and all sorts of stuff here, but I just wanted to let everybody know that, you know, that the YouTube model builders the other night, that was really cool. There is one thing. There's a YouTube big build, model builders big build going on. IMMRO.com or IMMRO.com is putting on this big build thing. I'm probably not going to be a part of it, but it's one of the things. If you go to YouTubeModelBuilders.com, it'll be there. I'll put the YouTube Model Builders link in the vlog here, so you guys can go check that out. So, with that being said, we all know the deal. Wait for the highball. Green tracks ahead. We'll catch you all later. See ya.